What if suppressing the real you and your opinions and your thoughts and your desires is actually stopping you from evolving and becoming that version of you that you prefer to be? What if sitting comfortable where you're at and not stepping into the unknown is only going to keep you stuck at where you're at? So this video is for empathic people struggling to own their voice and say their opinion, express how they feel, because they're worried what others will think of them. Or there might be a backlash where it feels like it's not safe and you're afraid of the outcome of what happens if I say no or set a boundary. And I'm going to share with you 3 things to help you step into vulnerability and move from that fear to freedom and feel safe in being that version of you and being able to detach from the outcome. Let me know in the comments below if you're struggling with being vulnerable or expressing yourself, or you have a fear around what people are going to think of you. And let me know maybe how I can assist and help. So number 1, it's more of a series of questions. And this question is, you got to ask yourself at any given moment in conversation with someone, is that, am I going to suppress myself in this moment from sharing an opinion because of the fear of what this person or others are going to think of me? Am I going to go ahead and hide where it's safe and not express what may disappoint this person because it's what I truly feel, because I'm afraid of their disappointment? So you got to ask yourself, am I going to stay where it's comfortable? Am I going to allow my ego to keep me here where it's safe? Or am I going to step into the unknown, where I start to see my own worthiness and my own value in sharing my opinion? Right? So you got to ask yourself that question. And why this is so important is because when you feel strongly about the value that you're about to present, one, you're showing great awareness to whom you prefer to be. And you mainly just want to move from that safe space to the unknown, because where you are is only going to keep you where you're at. In order to go to the next version of you, it's time to express vulnerably. And what is vulnerability? It's the quality of state to the possibility of being exposed to an attack or harm of some kind, physically or mentally. It's pretty close to the actual definition, but you get the point, right? It's allowing yourself to be exposed to the possibility of harm from somebody else. And sometimes sharing your opinion can lead to somebody disagreeing with that or fighting you on it because of their own strong opinion. Now, here's the real catch to this. At any disagreement of any kind, just remember, you're right, and so were they. Everybody is always right in their own way, and that is a mutual respect between one another. You may have 2 different sides of the coin. It's really going to come down to, are you going to be compatible enough to find a way to mend and work together and mesh, or is it time to, separate? Maybe this individual is not meant to serve you much longer in this lifetime, or whatever situation is happening. Now, my main point with this one, I know I got a little off topic. However, what I wanted to share is I had to also step into vulnerability. The last 2 videos I made, one, I was talking about extraterrestrials, and I mentioned because I wanted to create a safe space, not just for people wanting to share their experiences, I also wanted a safe space for me. And I felt like I kind of came at it in a way that was, identifying like internet trolls that could possibly comment something negative or, deny the existence or whatever. And I shared my own personal supernatural experiences where I choose to embrace the metaphysical, as the physical and the metaphysical are around us at all times. However, I also wanted to know people that felt like sharing and commenting to feel safe. And then also on top of that, I felt the need to defend myself and like also say like, yeah, I went to school and I studied some anatomy and physiology and biology because I went to school to become a nurse. Got halfway done, only 1 year left to my RN, and then I decided I don't want to be a nurse anymore. However, I felt like I needed to defend like my positioning in where I'm at, and that I do have some education. You know, not a lot, but enough. So, and this is also me being vulnerable and expressing like, hey, you know, I did say these things because I felt like I needed to defend myself and I needed to address something for multiple reasons. I almost took those two parts out of the video because I'm like, why should I feel the need to defend myself or whatever? And it's like, well, am I being vulnerable if I take it out, or if I leave it in there? Am I being vulnerable? Because now I'm exposing myself to a possibility of like internet troll attack, or somebody claim, you know, it's opening a door. However, I decided I'm going to express my opinion that internet trolls and people that suppress other people and just say negative things and remarks and want to, you know, be rude on the internet, they really are just a deeply wounded human themselves, and they're hiding behind a keyboard typing stuff. Like, that's just the truth. Like, they're going through their own thing also. And I'm not saying like their opinions are wrong or that they're not like, you know, right in their own way. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna like not spread like truth or facts, or you're just gonna call someone out like you're being delusional, like you're crazy, stop smoking weed, like you're gonna say a whole bunch of stuff like gaslight them, and you're being an actual internet troll, it's like, why are you projecting your own wound onto somebody else? So I decided to leave that part in there as possible exposure to negative comments. However, I feel strongly about that situation because I see a lot of people commenting on other people's things that's just negative, and it's like, why? Like, for what reason? And it's like, I get it. Like, and much love to those people that are hurting and that feel the need to project rather than to communicate and like have a conversation over comments and say, hey, I respect your decision or thoughts, and then here's my perspective. Like sharing perspectives is completely okay, but straight up attacks of projection, like throw that out the window. 2024, it's time to communicate with one another, because we're here to establish deep and meaningful connections with people, not keep separating and dividing ourselves. Why? So being vulnerable to the possibility of being in harm or negative comments, or, you know, it's not going to be safe for a little bit. I rather express my opinion and voice it moving forward, because this is my breakthrough, than to sit back and never express my true thoughts or who I am. So, number one, again, am I suppressing my opinion, my thoughts, my beliefs because of fear of how somebody else will respond to this? Am I going to go hide in this box to feel safe? Or am I going to go ahead and take another step towards courage and moving from the fear and doing it anyway, so that way I can have freedom, so I can feel free? And that literally is freedom. Having the courage to be disliked, and you're free. You're free after that. Like if you're not worried about other people's thoughts of what you believe or think or do, like, you're free. You're not confined to anybody else besides you. And at the end of the night, you're going to bed with yourself. I mean, unless you have like, you know, a partner or whatever. My point is, or a cat or a pet. But my point is, at the end of the day, it's you. And believe me, those other people have their own things to think about. They're not really thinking about you. Number two, another series of questions. You gotta ask yourself, do I feel like it? Do I want to do this? And do I really want to stay here where it's safe? Or do I want to step into the unknown? Actually, as I realized, I kind of gave everything out in my video with number 1. This is going to be some clickbait. It's going to say 3 things. There's not 3 things. All right? I think that's it. Because, you know what? I mean, I want to be truthful in my post. Maybe I have 3 things. 3 things on vulnerability. Here's the real point though, is are you going to live in fear of triggering others, or are you going to choose living to your fullest expression? Because the more you stay behind and you're not being your real self, that's going to suck. It's going to suck. So let go of the outcome and accept whatever outcome you get or don't get. Somebody could just literally turn around and walk away mid conversation. Like, you know, like, all right. All right, so like and subscribe and hit that notification button so that way you're notified when more of my content comes out. Yeah. Love and light vibration out. Have a wonderful, magnificent, transformative, alchemizing day, cosmic soul. Bye.